We're balling on a budget. That's right. It's our favorite 2025 fantasy football value picks. Welcome into Fantasy Pros. I'm your host, Seth Woolcock, and today I'm joined by both Pat Fitzmaurice and Derek Brown. In this video, we'll help you make the most of your draft capital this season with 4 players who are going way too low in drafts. And before we jump in, just want to shout out everyone who's watching on the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel or listening on the podcast feed. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, the easiest free way to support us, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this type of content. Also, make sure you subscribe if you're new. We got a lot of content coming for you in season and a whole lot more in between now and then. And let's pop the top off with Fitz's favorite or second favorite value pick for 2025. What do you have for us, my friend?
My second favorite value pick for 2025, Seth, is Tetairoa McMillan, the rookie wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers.
Nice.
His ECR is wide receiver 28, 59 overall. I have him at wide receiver 21, 46 overall.
Wow.
I think McMillan is being undervalued because people are always hesitant to invest too aggressively in rookies who have blank NFL resumes. And in this case, there's probably also some baked-in hesitation to trust Bryce Young, even though he was playing quite well by the end of the 2024 season. I hope our viewers and listeners will take advantage of the malaise toward Tetairoa McMillan. Like, he is a truly outstanding prospect who was drafted 8th overall and averaged 108.8 yards per game over his final 2 college seasons. He's an advanced route runner, and by the way, Tetairoa McMillan is 6'5". There is some touchdown upside there. The Panthers' other receivers are Adam Thielen, who's about to turn 35, Xavier Legette, who was pretty awful as a rookie, and Jalen Coker, who, like Debro, I'm actually pretty fond of, but let's face it, I mean, Coker is an undrafted former free agent from Holy Cross. Useful supporting cast member, not someone who's going to siphon a lot of targets away from soon-to-be leading man, Tetairoa McMillan. Carolina just doesn't have much pass-catching firepower at tight end either. Panthers are probably going to have one of the worst defenses in the league this season, and if Carolina is trying to keep up with high-scoring opponents, they're going to have to be passing the ball at a higher-than-average rate. I think it's very possible Tetairoa McMillan finishes top 10 in targets as a rookie, and if that happens, we're going to look back in utter astonishment at his ECR of wide receiver 28.
Man, I'm completely in with you, and I just got sniped trying to pick Tetairoa McMillan in Scott Fishbowl here in the past week, so still a little bit bitter. And Debro, I know as a prospect you like Tet quite a bit. Do you still like him with the question marks that surround this Carolina Panthers offense under Dave Canales?
I'm emphatically nodding my head the entire time Fitzy is just walking us through this because I cannot agree more with him. I've got Tetairoa McMillan as wide receiver 17, 38th overall.
Wow.
He's a wide receiver too, man. He's through and through. And I think for everything Fitzy lays out, this is a case of people, Tetairoa McMillan getting too much shade, people just wanting to shade that wide receiver class as a whole, and people talking out both sides of their mouth saying, okay, well, he's too slow to be a top 10 pick, but then he is. And then saying, well, but we want to comp him to Drake London, but he's not that good, but he is. And the part about the offense that I really want to illuminate here that gives the upside for Tet, outside of the pathway for him to be the unquestioned wide receiver 1 alpha in this offense, is also that Carolina last year, it's really going under the radar, guys. They were 4th in red zone passing rate, 12th in passing rate inside of the 10-yard line. Mm-hmm. If this offense takes another step, if Bryce Young can be the guy he was in weeks 12 through 18, Tetairoa McMillan, I've already bet the over for his receiving touchdowns at Betting Pros right now. He has double-digit touchdown upside in his range of outcomes, unquestionably.
Wow. Okay. A couple names I just want to throw out. Would you rather here for you, Pat and Debro? Tyreek Hill or Tetairoa?
Tet.
It's Tyreek Hill for me.
Terry McLaurin?
Ooh, that's really close.
I've got McLaurin ranked higher.
I think that I have them back to back. Yeah, I mean, I've got Tet at 17 and McLaurin at 18. Some of the hold in stuff could sway that. Like right now in a vacuum, I'll take Tet.
DJ Moore?
Oh, it's easy Tet. Not even close.
I do have McMillan ranked higher.
Okay.
Not even close.
All right. D-Bro, you're heading to Nashville for your second favorite value. What are you seeing value-wise down there on Broadway?
Tony Pollard. He's standing on Broadway and he's saying, come on, love me. Love me. Why do you not love me? He was a top 24 running back last year, and everything about his situation improved. And yet, right now, he's 66 overall. He's the RB 26 in ECR. He's my 52nd overall player. I have him at RB 19. And so, yes, I'm expecting him to take a step forward. He is the guy, like one of the guys you can get in those middle rounds where it's talent and it's also volume. So he's the perfect RB2 for regardless of however you're building your teams or flex play. This guy, everything around him got better. They made additions to the offensive line. We know the coaching for that offensive line is going to be good in Tennessee. Cam Ward hopefully is directing a better offense. And I know people are like, oh, what about Tajay Spears? Dude, Pollard proved last year, again, that he can be a workhorse. He can be a bell cow. He was 9th in snap share, opportunity share, and weighted opportunities. And I know people say, well, that if Spears is healthier, does that come down? Pollard's the unquestioned leader of this backfield. Maybe a snap share goes from like 75% to 70%, sit in the high 60s. He's still going to be the leader as far as when they get into the red zone and as far as volume. Again, RB 22 in fantasy points per game last year. He was top 20 in both explosive run rate and 6th in yards after contact per attempt. So that per touch efficiency is back for Tony Pollard. He was the RB 15 in expected fantasy points per game. So because of bad quarterback play, everything just flaming out around him, he didn't even produce to the level that he should have last year because of all those circumstances surrounding him. Dude, that comes back this year. I mean, Tony Pollard could be a top 15 running back based off of volume and an improved situation. So you're telling me I get him at RB3 price tags? That is a crazy value.
I'm also back in on Tony P here. And like you kind of mentioned 9th most weighted opportunities, not the most efficient running back, but at the same time, still 15th in explosive rating as well. And in addition to that, he saw a light front on only 54.2% of his carries. That's 37th among running backs. I think you insert Cam Ward, you insert at least a better group of supplemental pass catchers on the outside as well. I think that should help. Fitz, are you also in on Tony Pollard? You hand holding with D-Bro and I?
I'm a little more lukewarm on Pollard than you guys are. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry and 6.3 yards per target over his first 4 NFL seasons. Over the last 2, 4.1 per carry, only 4.4 yards per target. He hasn't looked like the same guy he was in Dallas early in his career. And I actually do like Tajay Spears. I know Spears was kind of a non-factor last year, but I'm giving him a mulligan in a season where he had 2 concussions, an ankle issue, a hamstring issue. Like Spears was really electric in his first year and real quietly caught 52 passes as a rookie in 2023. And now Brian Callahan is talking about wanting Spears to get more involved and maybe even having this be like a shared backfield. So not quite as warm on Tony Pollard, but not totally out on him either.
Okay. Before we keep it moving, I wanted to tell everyone about the FantasyPros Draft Assistant. Draft Assistant helps you spot values like this live. It connects directly to your draft and provides both real-time pick suggestions and estimations on which players might and might not make it back to your next pick. Draft Assistant fully integrates your customized cheat sheets and suggests picks based on your rankings, team build, ADP, and other factors. Dominate your draft in real time without the guesswork with Draft Assistant at fantasypros.com/assistant or always on the Fantasy Pros Fantasy Football Draft Wizard app. Let's keep the picks coming with Fitz's favorite value in all the land for 2025, taking us back to the quarterback position. Who you got, man?
It's Drake Maye, whose ECR is QB 16, 108th overall. I have Drake Maye, QB 8, 89th overall. I think he's this year's Jaden Daniels.
Wow.
Drake Maye started 12 games as a rookie. He left 1 game in the second quarter with a concussion, and in meaningless week 18, he played 3 snaps before he got pulled. In the other 10 starts, Drake Maye averaged 17.4 fantasy points per game, which would have ranked QB 13 among quarterbacks who made more than 1 start. Now, if we exclude that week 18 game when Maye was pulled after 1 series, he averaged, I think it was 37.2 rushing yards per start.
Wow.
And that projects to like 632 rushing yards over a full season. But I would contend that we just saw the tip of the iceberg with regard to Drake Maye's rushing potential. Nearly all of that rushing yardage came on scrambles. There were very few designed runs. Alex Van Pelt, the Patriots OC last year, said he limited the designed runs for Maye to protect him. Now Josh Daniels is running the Patriots offense.
Yes, sir.
A few months ago, Nate Tice of Yahoo went back and looked at the design runs that McDaniels drew up for then 31-year-old Cam Newton when Cam was starting for the Patriots in 2020. And there were a lot of them, and they were effective. Newton ran for 12 touchdowns that year.
Wow.
Now, Drake Maye had 2 touchdown runs last year, but when he was playing his college ball at North Carolina, Maye had 16 touchdown runs in 26 starts. And as a sophomore, Maye had 698 rushing yards in 14 games. And college QBs get sack yardage deducted from their rushing total. Maye lost about 200 yards in sacks that year. So he was really closer to like 900 rushing yards in 14 games. And as for the passing end of things, Maye had a bad offensive line and a bad group of wide receivers last year and still managed to complete 66.6% of his passes and average a respectable 6.7 yards per attempt. So now the Patriots have shored up the offensive line, and the receiver core is still not great, but Stephon Diggs and rookie Kyle Williams should help things. Like, Maye should not be going behind Justin Herbert, who's stuck in a run-heavy offense. Maye should not be going behind Dak Prescott and Jared Goff, who had no rushing value. And I would contend that Maye should be going ahead of Justin Fields, because he's in Fields' class as a runner, and Drake Maye is a better passer than Justin Fields is. Yeah, so I have Maye ranked QB8. I really do believe he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this season if he stays healthy. And I'm trying to get Maye at around quarterback 13, basically after everyone in my 12-team league has drafted a starter. And I'm sort of using Justin Fields as an alarm clock for Drake Maye. When Fields gets picked, I want to take Drake Maye in the next round or two.
I think that's so smart. And like, if I don't get one of those big 5 quarterbacks this season, and the way drafts have been going, I likely will not be and likely have to punt the position. And if that's the case, those are my 2 targets. It's Justin Fields and it's Drake Maye. As you mentioned, he did only take 30% of the snaps in week 8 before leaving with that concussion. But since taking over the starting job in week 6, QB 12 overall, QB 14 points per game. That's the floor, in my opinion. And with the improved offensive line, better pass catchers as well, plus a capable coaching staff, I'm in on Drake Maye as well. Derek, are you also high on the Patriots signal caller?
Yeah, man. Like, I moved him up in my ranks. I'm not nearly as high as Fitzy, but like, you know, so I love Fitzy saying it with his chest. I think there's a definitive chance that Maye is a top 12 quarterback this year. I mean, just in our projections on the site, to Fitzy's point, Maye is 8th in rushing yards in our projections and 10th in rushing attempts.
Wow.
So and again, like, for everybody to contextualize projections, a lot of those are median outcomes. Like, you're not going to see projection sets that are putting out like the high end outcome. So like,
correct.
If he bests this, he could be top 5 in both of those metrics this year. So especially looking at the context of the offense around him. So Drake Maye could easily be a top 12 quarterback. I love the call.
Derek Brown, round us out with your favorite value who's already making waves at Cowboys training camp as we speak.
Dude, it's George Pickens. He is inappropriately priced. I mean, he's 71st overall in ECR, wide receiver 32. I feel like these rankings are living in yesteryear. I have George Pickens as a top 20 wide receiver. He's my wide receiver 16.
Wow.
And people could be surprised to hear that, but you're telling me on a Dallas Cowboys offense that we know is going to be top 10 in passing attempts, where's the ball going outside of CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson and George Pickens? It is a consolidated target share. You saw last year with Pickens in weeks 1 through 13, before he picked up the hamstring, he was producing as a top 24 wide receiver. He was 18th in separation. He was 8th in yards per route run, 25th in route win rate. Again, he goes from the Pittsburgh freaking Steelers, Seth, you know this pain well, that threw the ball at the 4th lowest rate. They had the 4th fewest passing attempts last year. He's going to the Dallas Cowboys with freaking Cooper Rush playing half of the season. They were 3rd in passing attempts. Yeah. And we don't think that George Pickens can be a top 24 wide receiver. That's not where he's ranked. We're living in yesteryear. He's going to go up the ranks in the process, like as we get training camp clips, all that kind of stuff. He's a wide receiver 2. I'll say that with my chest. He's going to be a wide receiver 2. with the volume that he's going to see. And if you don't believe any of the other stuff that I've said in this, money talks. He's in a contract year.
Sure.
So Pickens wants to get paid. Jerry Jones, I'm not a Jerry Jones believer, and I'm not going to talk well about Jerry Jones and probably any other show, but Jerry Jones has dealt with diva wide receivers pretty well throughout the entirety in Dallas. We can point back to Des Bryant, Terrell Owens, and a whole other slew of guys. George Pickens, if he keeps his head on straight with the passing volume and the talent that he has, he's a wide receiver 2 this year, and he's being drafted and ranked as a wide receiver 3. It's wrong. He's an awesome value.
Fitz, where do you have GP ranked?
I'm in line with ADP and ECR. I've got him at wide receiver 32, but I also know I'm too low, and I need to move him ahead of a couple of guys I have ahead of him right now, like Zay Flowers, for one thing. I would much rather have Pickens. I know people are going to be scared off by CeeDee Lamb hogging targets in Dallas. Debro lays out the case for that not being the thing we should look at. The higher passing volume for Dallas and the fact that Dallas's defense might not be very good this year might force Dak Prescott to be real pass heavy. So yeah, like plus maybe some lesser matchups or lesser cornerbacks that Pickens is going to be facing now that he's the number 2, and defenses throw a lot of attention at Lamb. Yeah. So I like the call.
Well, and we're not discussing them here, but does anybody think, considering the constitution of that running back room, that they're going to be run heavy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today on Fantasy Pros. We hope we helped you stretch that dollar. Thanks so much for watching. As always, the best free way to support us. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this type of content, and make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new. Also, let us know down in the comments below your favorite values. We want to hear from you. For Pat Fitzmaurice and Derek Brown, I'm Seth Woolcock. Take care, y'all.